It started with uncontrolled bleeding, which I ended up consulting. It was in 2017, and then they told me I had fibroids. They went and cut them. The bleeding didn't slow down. It just kept going and going and going. And I think it was in 2018, towards the end of 2018, that's when I went again for sauna. They did an internal sauna. That's when they told me that no, the fibroids have now gone big, and they suggested hysterectomy. They were concerned that I was gonna get more complications, and then I thought, no, you know what, I'll come back, let me go think about it. And when I went for my review, which was in 2 months after seeing them that time, I somehow, the doctor that I saw was quite religious, and I think that was another preparation, because I told him that, you know what, I feel that I don't have the fibroids anymore, but let's just, you do the sauna, we confirm, and the fibroids were gone at the time, which were huge when I saw them previously, and they were gone. And but the bleeding didn't stop, it continued. My follow-up after that, I think I was due in 3 months time. When I went after those 3 months, the bleeding had gone heavier than what it was. My blood levels had dropped. What would be standard, at least acceptable, it's a 10.5, but it's, I think they say it's at least a 12 upwards, it's okay. At the time I was sitting at 6 point something, and then I went for a secondary for another review post that one, which usually it's 3 months. I think it was around February 2020. Yeah, that's when they diagnosed me, somewhere around there, of stage 1 cervical cancer, and I suggested that I have a hysterectomy, and they agreed with me, so they booked me for surgery, which they said the earliest date they had was going to be in May 2020. So I went in on the 11th of May for admission. When he told me about Johnny and the Intervene Herbal, he did say to me that Angie, the stuff tastes terrible, and even Johnny himself mentioned to me that Angie, the stuff is not nice. The Intervene Herbal doesn't taste good. And then I said to him, you know what? And I also said this to myself after Stanley told me. I remember that I'm not taking it for taste, man. I'm taking it to save my life. If I am to put life and taste, like, weigh the options, I would definitely go for life, you know. And I started maybe a month after the diagnosis, 2 months after the diagnosis, and within I was cancer free. This was now, I have actually have been telling people that I do not have cancer anymore before I went for the test. And obviously the tests were done after a year, but this was, I have been speaking from a space of someone that was cancer free, just maybe even 4 months after taking the Intervene. Yeah, so I had very, very minimal energy. I mean, for instance, I wouldn't go for a 5-minute walk twice a day. And I would sleep a lot before. This is now before. Because I would see the low blood, that my nails were a bit pale. That's where it was starting to show. I had gone pale. My system started detoxing the toxins. The toxins that were not good for my body, you know, and it's at the same time it started to build up what was good for me. It started to build up what was missing in my body. I started to even grow some flesh in my body. That was because now I mean, I had other complications. I had other medical complications. I was on a whole lot of chronic meds. So it wasn't just the cancer alone that was fighting. So, I mean, I can now proudly say my body, I was deformed, just to put it mildly, you know. That's what I'm referring to, that by one other thing that it did for me, and it wasn't just fighting the cancer, you know. For me as a person, I mean, my body was dying, but inside I was so full of life because I believed. I got my results on the 16th of November that I'm clear of cancer.